An inspector general has now referred the case of FEMA chief Long's allegedly improper use of government vehicles to federal prosecutors. Long's use of government cars for commutes that were hundreds of miles long came to light just as Hurricane Florence was aiming for his home state. A Homeland Security Inspector General has been probing Long's trips from Washington, D.C. to his home in Hickory, North Carolina.The Wall Street Journal reported Long would make the 400-mile trip in a caravan of vehicles. Taxpayer-paid drivers would be put up in hotels in Long's home state.The has now referred the case to federal prosecutors who will decide whether to pursue charges against Long, who this week is overseeing efforts to coordinate the national disaster response to massive flooding in North Carolina and surrounding areas. In one such trip, one vehicle was involved in an accident. Agency lawyers informed Long last year that the trips weren't legal, according to the Journal, but they continued anyway. At that point, the IG put Long under surveillance and even set up a tail for one of his trips. Long said he is cooperating with the investigation. The Trump administration, buffeted by a series of travel scandals by cabinet members during its first year, is already considering possible successors. He told CBS his travel was in compliance with a presidential directive on continuity of government in case of a disaster. Amid the scrutiny and personal professional peril, Long botched the name of the hurricane threatening the East Coast last week, while denying allegations of his own misuse of government cars, saying he was 100% focused on the storm. Regardless of an article, right now I'm 100% focused on Floyd, and that's exactly where our attention needs to be with the life safety mission, said Long Thursday at an emergency briefing to update Americans on Hurricane Florence. Florence, excuse me, he added later.Long may have been referencing a 1999 hurricane that slammed the East Coast and inundated parts of North Carolina. He denied distraction at the top of a briefing, where officials schooled Americans on what bare necessities they should bring to shelters, where and how to evacuate, and what disabled citizens should do to prepare. He said as FEMA administrator he followed policies according to regulation, and bottom line is we'll continue to fully cooperate with any investigation that goes on, and own up to any mistakes and push forward and keep going, keeping moving on. Regardless of an article, right now I'm 100% focused on Floyd, and that's exactly where our attention needs to be with the life safety mission. We'll invite in our federal partners, Florence, excuse me, said, possibly after being corrected. Asked if he was confident he followed the law, Long shifted the subject back to the storm and repeated the error. We're going to get to Floyd, we're going to get to Florence, excuse me, and we're going to concentrate on the life safety issues, he said. The embarrassing gaffe came as Long fended off a new Politico report that he was under investigation for the use of government cars. The report said he clashed with Homeland Security Chief Kirstjen Nielsen over the issue. An inspector general is probing his use of a government Chevy Suburban and other vehicles during repeat 6-hour drives to Hickory, and his use of a staff driver began last year, and aides would stay at hotels at government expense, an official told the publication. News of Long's use of government vehicles for long-range commutes follows reports that $10 million was transferred from FEMA funds to pay for immigration detention centers. The transfer, revealed in documents released by Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon, showed funds came out of the operations and support budget before the start of hurricane season.